Suddenly, excited voice of Akechi was heard. So you did not point to and from the criminal to the absolute. I was not in the absolute. Then, from the discovery of the crime. The room is or is not when it is empty even a little. Leaving carcasses only, or never got out of everyone. Sunikawa said, ask a criminal who was on the side, was the answer. There is no, constantly someone is so was in the room. It is in the still so. The culprit is probably, I still think that being in the room. Sunikawa said, surprised, was Mimawashi the purr. Akechi is trying to solve the crime on the phone. Moreover, it called criminal is still in this room. But, the room you are overpacked of the police officers who were probably there a criminal. That there is no place like Hides. In the survey from the previous again. It has enough known. Here is something other than attorney's office and the police nobody. And it is referred to as police inspector was shot to suddenly strange idea. Unexpected although the only just thing of the attorney's office and the police. There your wave of nanny. She just before the crime. But only one person close to the Shizuko. Sunikawa said, while looking toward the stair and you wave meaning the hair to continue. That is the outside only your waves nanny. No, never criminal. I do not think are in your side conspicuous location. Hidden you are. If not Wakashi wrong is my imagination. Die is very strange leverage. Anyone looking for you hiding in such a place does not look even. Quote, such a place is not in the absolute. I looked every part. No way I can. Not considered to have overlooked one man. The inspector was shot a little good and caused tantrums. But do you also there is not the part that examined. Where it is. It's really where Mr. Sunikawa, do you remember the novelist that so knowed a black rainbow? Akechi suddenly, I began to say that's strange. I know that the man is writing a novel called The Man Who Became a Chair, you know. What is a man? Became chair? Yes. Sonoda is the man who made a last violent worked as an assistant of the Taniyama. There I were friends once. Taniyama is not going to not read that novel. Read a thing of him. The novelist figured out wacky fantasy crime was not I could not bring myself to see as it is actually done by. Because to just 5 days ago, had made of furniture. Because I was crowded transported to the room. Quote, what is the furniture? Sonoda to Mr. Sunikawa not read the bizarre story of the Black Rainbow. It did not yet know the true meaning of Akechi. Shizuko's of his killed chaise longue. Behold examine the chaise longue well. The inspector, while holding the handset, with its eyes on the couch. Then, his eyes while you are staring at the jitter is. To startle, not may say. Was carried out with open large increase. Make a catenin sound, handset, it fell slip his hand. That if the mitame, to may look under that chair. The screams of the police inspector, people line of sight, has been concentrated there. Patori, raindrop such as hear the faint sound. From the chaise lounge of the bottom, to the top of the floor of the carpet. It crimson drops are dripping. Then, imperceptibly, into the recess of the carpet. It was not able to eerie blood pond. Not killed Shizuko of blood that's clear. But is after the blood on the surface of the indeed couch there. It had long ago dry. There is no should have drips up by now. And, now, the raindrops of blood, constantly increasing its speed, eventually led to the like of red wool. Are they not an increasingly vigorous rain down? Huge couch itself, as some like even by a single organism, he has shed blood. In people gasped, while staring at the raindrops of the blood, it was stood. Benkat's inanimate is groaning, flounder, but such bizarre fantasy, was plagued them. Sonoda readers gentlemen that was read crime novels of the Black Rainbow, man became chair, is. I already, should the devil tricker were any of those. I have noticed. It would have been a strange idea of anything. Saburo Taniyama hide themselves in the chaise longue. The boundary between the lean and the seat. projecting a dagger from deep gap. It was killed. Shizuko had been sitting there. He is as it is a novel of Black Rainbow, was a man who was in the chair, looking to beat the couch, under a thick cushion, instead of the spring. Dying of Taniyama's, was lying at length. From there, he heard the Sunikawa's phone, and destiny, not longer to escape, was probably the idea. The poor weapon not even then pierces a small flashlight knife in the heart. It was almost sacrificed. Revenge of the obsession was accomplished. Ichi do not want life also died. People are drawn out from the chair of the Taniyama. It was laid beside the corpse of Shizuko. Beautiful man, a beautiful woman. They had a former lover comrade. And in fact it was intended to be the song that the depression that's going to leave almost at the same time both Taniyama, but I Sunikawa, or, is not that Anoko Susin? The inspector, in the dying of the Taniyama, multiplied by the words of mercy. The Taniyama both eyes had been closed tightly, slightly open. I saw the face of Sunikawa Mr. then, faintly moving his head and looked at the corpse of Shizuko lying next to it. He did not say a word, just summon up the last of the force. The hand use of pale, stretched toward the Shizuko. The hand is, as though creeping insects, little by little, and Nijirio touched finally to the cold left hand of Shizuko. Oh, what that's obsession, vengeance demon, at the time of dying. Whether you are going Sukamakakaro, the enemy of the carcasses, hate, is not the case. He has not had Sukamakaka. I was holding the hand of Shizuko. Cold hands. Golden hands. It was fitted grip. Then, when I think distorted in bizarre mouth of Taniyama, leakage is the voice of creeps and coward like Asaba himself. Became stuck as it is his body. People, is song in a strange emotion. In the deep silence, looked at men and women of the corpse that had holding hands. It was also not felt hostility of longer or anything like in there. It was like a beautiful pair of double love suicide person. Relationship Matsumajiku asleep. Times. Saburo vengeance demon Taniyama's was used for the last murder. Benket's clever gimmick have long been stored in the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, not popping the eyes of the visits us. Readers gentleman is seeking the go-between. If there is an opportunity to enter into that display chamber, even now, we'll be able to see the mysterious chaise longue. It goes without saying that the furniture store that was produced it was the interrogation. But, he is probably from Taniyama had received a huge reward. Abandoned without regret shop, had already blinded the whereabouts, had kept the awareness, was one taken remaining Shigeru boy. Now, he, along with your wave of nanny, things have been nourished those of relatives that took over the Hadakiyanagi Tai. Author new master of Hadakiyanagi houses, that against the Karen Naru orphans. Pray that it does not kindness it is. Kogoro Akechi, as a distinguished services incident, was established as the examples newspaper. Akechi Baiki of readers who are, at the end of the article. Soon Detective Inafumio's The Lovers discovered that has been written that to increase the wedding, could not prohibit the smile of favor. At the same time, Kogoro Akechi honeymoon is, perhaps for the time being is, that was not dabbling in bloody detective incident, did not have not regrettable to think.